to approve.
No, it's just a vote, I think. The motion's been moved.
All right.
It's amended.
Yep, we already have the motion. All right, the amendment passed. Okay. So all in favor of the motion with the amendment?
The amended motion, yeah.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm an aye as well. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Nancy. You guys don't have to sit here if you don't want to. If you want to, you're welcome to. I don't want you to. All right. Okay, Lisa, you are up, and then if anyone needs a 5-minute break or a 2-minute break, we can do that for the subcommittee and before people present that. All right.
So Lisa Lamro, District Nurse Leader, thank you for having me.
What, Jessica?
That's okay.
You want to move down, pass up? We'll see, we'll see. All right. Sorry, Lisa.
Don't be. I'm just really hungry now.
I know.
And listening.
Seriously, take something. Because, Are we all up? That's very
Oh, real food.
Yes. All right, go ahead, yes.
I don't mind speaking, yeah. So, thank you for having me. So I'm here, I was here 2 months ago to talk about the EpiPen piece of med delegation. Now I'm here to talk about the bigger piece of medication delegation. And what it is a process that's going to allow the nurses to delegate the administration of medication to students, to non-medical staff, like administrators or teachers. It's not for an everyday basis, it's more like an emergency, if a nurse isn't there, or a field trip where it's just a particular med. It is not all meds, it's a very limited list of medications, and it can only be something taken by mouth. It cannot be any injections, any inhalers, anything like that. It's quite a process. I've had to do some training as well as the nurses, which we've all done already. And what that would encompass, if it's approved and moved forward, we would need to get some policies in place because we do not have a policy in place for that. If it's approved, we get some policies in place. I would train the other nurses how to train the staff. And it's all voluntary. We cannot force anybody to do it. It's voluntary. If a teacher wants to do it or an administrator wants to do it, to do the medication piece. And along with that goes, proper training, evaluation a couple times through the year, things like that. So that's pretty much what that is. I could go into a lot of detail, but there's not a lot of time. Do you guys have any particular questions?
I was just wondering, what are the allowable medications?
I don't know exactly off the top of my head. It would be something like, say, a vitamin or an enzyme, something like that. It would be an ADHD medication. And it would only be for students that have been taking this medication. It cannot be something new. And I would have to get a complete list. Because they broke it, they didn't really give you specifics, they kind of broke it down into groups. And again, even if we did go through with this, a parent would have to approve. We couldn't just say, superintendent's going to give meds today. The parent has to say, who is this person? Have they been trained? Yes, I want it. No, I don't. Again, it's helpful in an emergency. If I'm not there, there's no other nurse that can cover, or if there's a field trip and we can't get nurses and it is something, say a vitamin, for example. Superintendent Costello could give it if she goes on that field trip. That's kind of what it is.
But we don't have a specific list of medications that we're voting to allow?
I feel like it was in, I don't know if Nicole sent that. She said she sent.
CMR, it was the state.
It is not in that piece, it's in the PowerPoint piece that I had shared. I don't know if she shared that with you.
No, we don't have that.
I did not see that.
Okay, I can resend that. It's very vague, it doesn't give a specific name. It's just more like an ADHD medication, something like that.
So like classes of drugs.
Yes. nothing narcotic. It's very minimal.
Should we have that before we vote?
I don't think,
Go ahead, Carol.
I don't think that's the intent of this evening about the type of medication. This is really an intent to move forward with the process of creating policies to do this delegation itself. The medications are the medications, but we can certainly provide that list down the road. This was something Lisa brought to our attention this summer. Mike, in fact, we talked about signing it, you chose not to, and you're absolutely right not to sign it because we didn't have a policy in place. We had something in place, but it expired, at least it caught us.
Well, the district has had med delegation in the past years.
Years, right.
I can't speak for what's happened before I came in, but I don't think it was being followed properly. And the certificate's expired, so that's why we're trying to get this back up and running again.
What do you need a certificate?
I'm sorry?
Certificate, what do you need a certificate?
So, if this is approved, then I have to apply. I have an application that I have to fill out where it's just like the EpiPen application, a little more extensive, and it would be the school committee chair, the physician, myself, and superintendent signing it. The state has to approve it, DPH, and then it comes back, and then we can move forward with that.
And then the district would have to create policies on, so you said policies would need to be created, so are you talking the school committee with, our policy subcommittee would need to create a policy on med delegation,
Right.
specifically what medications, who's gonna be able to do it, that kind of stuff?
I don't know how detailed it would have to be. It's similar to the epinephrine one, but it would just be for other medications where we could list those meds,
Okay,
Is the
or
policy
the
before or
process
after
of
the
it.
application?
I'm sorry?
Is the policy before or after the application?
I would say after. I mean, if
Yeah,
you
'cause
guys
she
aren't
doesn't-
going to approve it, then why?
yeah, why are you gonna make a policy if the state doesn't approve it? But I would assume this is a standard,
This happens all over the
And
state.
there are districts, they are online in other districts.
Yeah.
We
And again,
that as our template.
The district has approved it before, but I think, I don't know what happened, and with COVID, things just kind of got put to the back. Why there was no policy in place, I don't know. I mean, I just started this
It
February.
Right.
makes sense for emergency reasons. I just want to know when we vote, what are we doing? Are we creating a policy? Are we creating something that someone's gonna go run with? What are we voting?
No, that we can move forward looking at creating a policy.
And
then I can sign the
She would apply to the
application.
state.
And
So
then I
that I
told-
can sign the
and then my
application.
policy-
So the vote is for the application to approve applying to the state.
right,
And
the
then once the
state,
state approves, the
then we
state
can
will
move
approve it
forward.
without a policy.
Correct.
The
That's all we
ability
do,
to
so.
move forward and create the policy.
There are other districts that don't have policies. You know, why that is, I don't know, but I feel like if we're gonna do it right,
Yeah.
we do the policy. Yes.
That's basically why this came about. Lisa brought it to our attention. At first, we did not have this in place, and there was no consistency of how meds, they're shaking their head, no, how meds were delegated.
Yeah.
For field trips, who was taking the information, some people were trained by the nurse at the time, individually. That is not okay.
So this vote won't actually allow this to happen yet.
Nor
It
policy.
still has to
Well, we
go
have to
through the
get it
application,
approved. Yep.
and then we'll write a policy. By then, we'll know what classes of drugs we're gonna allow.
Yes.
Well, maybe.
Or you can or policy subcommittee can, I would think you can stipulate in the policy,
Yeah, we can do anything.
no narcotics, no, yeah, or.
I mean,
Well,
we
it's
just
gonna
have
be
to
based-
follow the
it's gonna
state.
be
It
based
can't
on
be
what
what
the
you guys say. It has to be, it's a law, so we have to follow the state.
In the state law, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, the state law that we have doesn't have those details in it, so we would need to know what that is before. You just vote on.
Right. I did send, I think, to Nicole a big presentation all about it and with the meds, but she may have left that piece out. So I can resend it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, can you resend that, or, Nicole, do you have that? Oh,
You
she
did,
not yet.
didn't I give it to you the first time 2 months ago, but maybe it got lost?
Oh, maybe that's in the drive from the last
It
time.
could be.
That was probably in the drive from last time. Hold on,
So
let me
maybe you
see.
just forwarded the 20-something page med delegation.
Yeah, that was a civic document.
Lisa, when was the last time you came? It was in October?
2 months ago, yes.
October.
But I have no issues resending it.
Assuming this goes forward, whoever gets appointed to do this will there be additional stipend or any money
No,
involved?
this is voluntary.
Okay.
This is voluntary. It helps the teachers in each grade level, if a rep from each grade level wants to take this on, just help them be able to have security of knowing that they're doing this properly.
Right.
Right, and also that we know we have, so that we're not bringing about, a lot of times we've been trying to find nurses to go on the trip, they've gone through this, the principals are trying to send a nurse because there are some significant ones we can't give, so then we have to send a nurse, it's been hard to find nurses.
Yeah, it's a
This is way
struggle.
of alleviating that level with a number of medications that are very routine, very safe for.
And it's nothing other than med by mouth. You know, no injections, no tube feeds, no inhalers, anything like that.
And it protects our children and it protects us, because we have a system in place to do this, we have a policy in
Right.
place. And it takes off the table, should anything, God forbid, happen, that we have not done this improperly or without the necessary training that we need to have.
The majority of time there will be a nurse because there's so many conditions and disorders. So the chances of there not being a student with a seizure med or, you know, something like that, I mean, you know, a seizure, et cetera, a nurse has to be there. So it's going to be minimal, just in case that emergency. We can't get a nurse, or we can't have a school covered by a nurse, whatever.
And that along with what you did last time, which was approve the EpiPen.
Yes,
It
yes.
was huge, because that is a big one too, just having that alone
Right.
was huge to have in
Right.
place, but I think this finishes the whole process off for us.
All right, so I didn't see that PowerPoint in the drive, so if you could
That's
resend it
okay.
to
I
Nicole.
don't know what
Thank-
happened. I thought I sent
That's
it.
okay.
I could have made a mistake.
No worries, if you wanna send it to
Resend it?
Nicole so she can send it.
I will do that tomorrow.
I'm okay with voting because I feel like this is just an application. And I feel like we need to move forward because I do think this is important. And I did hear similar things to what you said, that we used to have it and things may not have been followed according to policy in the past. And I understand that their children needed to get their medication. So, does anybody else have any other questions or opposed to voting tonight on this?
Should we be specific in the motion as to what exactly we're approving as far as application policy, waiting on additional information for the specific drugs?
Yeah.
Or classes?
I mean, it's based on Massachusetts law too.
Yeah,
But yeah, so the
but the vote
motion,
would
like, start the
implement
process
this,
of,
so.
Okay, so, Mike, do you wanna make the motion?
Sure.
maybe Jess, because she's in the medical.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Jess, do you wanna make the motion?
Make a motion to start the application process for medication administration for staff members, and also to start the process of looking at protocols for the above mentioned. Yeah, the line with Massachusetts state laws.
Okay, so she has a motion on the table.
A second.
Okay, is there any discussion about that motion? That's good, thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm an aye as well. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you,
Thank you so
Lisa.
much. Thank
Let me
you.
know when you need my signature and I can stop by.
Okay,
Okay.
yes, I did not bring the form, but we will
That's okay.
do that. Yes.
I'm at VES every day.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'll see you there.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, so, what do you guys think about moving the MCAS update up?
Yes.
think it's a great idea. All right, are you guys ready to roll? While you're setting up, does anyone want to take a brief 2-minute, does anyone need a bathroom break or want a brief break while they're setting up?
Yes.
All right, we'll convene 2 minutes, 2 minutes on the timer. Okay, yeah. Or grab some food, yeah. Awesome. I mean, I think